Alright, let's go on a bizarre thought journey, one that I guarantee you didn't expect today. What if, bear with me here, what if we could eat our own poop and it wasn't gross at all? In fact, what if it was totally fine, even unthinkably enjoyable, and completely normal for humans to just snack on their waste? I know, this sounds like something out of a really weird sci-fi movie or maybe a prank show. But let's run with it. Imagine a world where the idea of eating your own poop isn't just acceptable, it's celebrated, even encouraged. You're not just throwing it in the toilet, flushing it away, or, pretending it doesn't exist. You're sitting down to a meal that includes your very own excrement, and you're loving it. It's not only edible, it's healthy, nutritious, and people everywhere are doing it without batting an eye. Let's dive in and explore how this would totally change everything. First things first, let's talk about what's actually going on in your body. Normally, poop is what's left over after your body has digested food and absorbed the nutrients. The rest is waste. But what if that waste could somehow be reprocessed in a way that made it completely palatable and, dare I say, delicious? Maybe it's got a secret ingredient, a little magic enzyme that turns all the leftover nutrients into some kind of gourmet dish. So instead of feeling disgusted when you go, you'd be sitting there thinking, wow, I can't wait for my next meal. Maybe our gut bacteria, which is already crucial in breaking down our food, has a new role in reworking poop into something more like a fine dish. People might even become famous for their personal poop recipes. It's like a whole new form of culinary art that no one ever saw coming. Now, how would this affect food culture? Just think about it. The world of food as we know it would change completely. Restaurants would start adding poop-based dishes to their menus, maybe even putting a gourmet spin on it. You'd have poop sommeliers who can tell you which particular batch is perfect for a light appetizer versus something more filling. The concept of farm-to-table would take on a whole new meaning. Forget sourcing ingredients from local farms. Now it's all about how well you process, package, and prepare the leftovers of your digestive process. Perhaps even high-end chefs would begin perfecting the art of poop seasoning, pairing it with delicate spices and garnishes. Imagine you're sitting down to a 5-course meal, and the chef brings out a deconstructed poop platter. Maybe it's a delicate arrangement of your own leftovers, carefully prepared with a light dusting of organic herbs and some finely grated cheese on top. The world of food would become a much stranger and more adventurous place, where yuck becomes yum. But beyond the culinary scene, there would be massive changes in how we view hygiene and the environment. First, let's talk about the environment. One of the biggest environmental challenges we face today is waste management. Think about how much poop we produce as a planet, billions of tons every year. But in this new world, poop is no longer just waste, it's a resource. A valuable one. The entire waste management industry would be transformed. We'd no longer have to worry about landfills and sewage systems as we do now. Poop would be repurposed for food, for energy, for building materials. Essentially, we would stop treating waste as, waste. Cities would have poop-to-table industries where entire facilities are designed to collect, process, and refine human excrement into edible delicacies or renewable resources. Imagine the innovation. Poop could become a raw material in the same way that soybeans or wheat are. There would be poop farms, where people harvest, process, and prepare it, turning what was once disgusting into a sustainable, thriving business. And the environmental impact? It could dramatically reduce pollution, because human waste could be fully reused, keeping it out of our oceans, rivers, and landfills. Now, let's talk about social dynamics. Picture this. Family dinners aren't just about gathering around a table and passing the mashed potatoes anymore. They're about gathering around your personal poop plates. People would exchange tips and recipes for making the perfect poop stew or poop sushi. There might even be an annual event, a global food festival, dedicated entirely to poop dishes. Local communities would probably have competitive eating contests, but instead of hot dogs, they'd be seeing who can consume the most poop-based foods without breaking a sweat. It would be a new form of cultural bonding, as people gather to share the most uniquely prepared poop dish in the neighborhood. Oh, you haven't tried Maria's poop casserole? It's world famous. Suddenly, Foodies would be rating the best poop dishes on Yelp, with everyone boasting about their own signature poop recipes. There'd be food blogs dedicated to reviewing the latest in waste cuisine, and influencers would be making viral videos of themselves crafting artisanal poop-based treats. You'd see cooking shows on TV where chefs compete to make the tastiest poop burgers or creatively present excrement as fine dining. The world would get a lot more adventurous. But here's the kicker. How would it change our perception of the human body? Right now, we see poop as something to hide away, something dirty, something to be embarrassed about. But if we could eat our own poop with ease, there'd be a cultural shift. Poop would no longer be taboo. It would become just another part of the cycle of life and nourishment. We might even start looking at our digestive systems with a sense of pride, as we become more attuned to the process of breaking down and reusing everything our bodies create. Personal hygiene might still be important, but now it would be more about preparing poop to its maximum potential. You might even have people taking poop health supplements to make sure their poop is top-notch for consumption. Forget about digestion problems. You'd have poop experts teaching you how to optimize your system to make the perfect batch every time. And then there's the emotional aspect. The very notion of eating something that once disgusted us would force us to confront our deepest taboos. It would challenge our very sense of self, forcing us to rethink what's edible, what's clean, and what's normal. At first, people would probably be in denial. I'm not eating that. No way. But as it becomes normalized, it might start to feel good, maybe even empowering. A sense of freedom, of liberation from societal norms, could emerge. No longer would we be ashamed of our bodily functions. We would embrace them, turning something we once considered gross into a source of pride. Imagine the confidence it would take to openly feast on your own leftovers in front of others. It would be a bold new world, where we reclaim our most natural processes as a part of the circle of life. In the end, a world where eating our own poop is unthinkable in its enjoyment would change everything. Our environment, our social dynamics, our food culture, and our perceptions of ourselves. It would flip everything we know about waste, turning it into a precious resource and possibly even a social status symbol. Who knows? Maybe it's the future of sustainability, or maybe it's just the ultimate way to turn the human body into an endlessly recyclable, edible marvel. So, what do you think? Would you take a bite? Let me know in the comments. Don't hold back, and remember to like and subscribe for more wildly strange what-ifs.